American Chopper premiered on the Discovery Channel in 2003, relatively early in the reality TV era, and the show's unique mix of human relationships and workplace drama really helped solidify the format, followed by countless other reality shows set in interesting and unusual places of business. October is here, which means the countdown to the holiday season is officially underway. Festive decorations line shop windows, food gets decidedly heartier, and publishers crank out their best video games to take advantage of the holiday gift-buying rush. The action on American Chopper went down at Orange County Choppers, a top-notch motorcycle customization shop in southern New York State. It's no surprise then that October is chock full of interesting titles. Last month had loads of great games to pick up, even we had trouble keeping our list reasonably paired. Audiences became transfixed with not only the motorcycle miracles made from metal and paint, but with the real-life employees of OCC, chief among them impressively mustached and often contentious shop boss Paul Teutul Sr. or just Sr., his son Paul Jr., Mikey Teutul, Vinny DiMartino, and Rick Petco, among others. American Chopper rode off into the sunset in 2010, and its spin-off, American Chopper, Sr. vs. Jr., departed in 2012, only to return to TV in 2018. Marvel's Avengers was packed with co-op multiplayer action, while Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2 brought back addictive, trick-happy skateboarding action. Here's what Sr., Jr., and the rest of the OCC staff got up to in the meantime. Paul Sr. Vanillaware fans could check out the adventure, RTS Hybrid 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim for a nice change of pace, and open-world fans had Genshin Impact to explore at month's end. October has a beefy selection of games, too. Got sued by his business partner American Chopper returned to TV in 2018, a beneficiary of a television-wide reboot craze in which a variety of old, familial favorites shot new seasons of episodes. Amnesia gets a new sequel, Rebirth, that delivers tension and frights alongside brain-teasing puzzles. It's amazing that even happened for American Chopper, seeing as how the previous attempt to revive the show, Orange County Choppers, American-made, was mired in lawsuits. It's perfect for Halloween. According to Page 6, in April 2017, Thomas Derbyshire filed suit in Delaware State Chancery Court, arguing that Teutul, his business partner, used the money Derbyshire poured into Orange County Choppers, American-made for personal use. Crash Bandicoot returns with his fourth mainline iteration, It's About Time. World of Warcraft receives a new expansion, Shadowlands, that makes major changes to the endgame meta. Beyond finished releases, a few promising early access games appear this month, such as Baldur's Gate 3 and Second Extinction. As they're not full releases, we're not adding them to this month's list. Still, you should check them out if you're in the mood for classic Dungeons & Dragons RPG goodness or dinosaur hunting, respectively. Just remember, they won't be in a completed state. There's plenty more to see and play, though, so read on to see what games made it to our list of October's finest. In other words, fraud. Things also soured when Teutul attempted to change his ownership deal with Derbyshire from 51/49 in favor of Derbyshire to a 50-50 split. Derbyshire also said in his filing that Teutul delayed production by taking a long fishing trip and when he did show up to shoot, wouldn't do scenes with Hell's Angels higher-up Rusty Coons, which was contractually obligated. Derbyshire says Teutul also made product placement deals without his approval. Paul Sr. got sued again and restrained in July 2018. Paul Teutul Sr. arrived in a Poughkeepsie, New York, courtroom, for a mediation hearing in another lawsuit. Teutul and lawyers representing the bike builder and Orange County Choppers attempted to reach an agreeable outcome with attorneys for JTM Motorsports. That company alleged that Teutul had promised to promote their business, and in exchange, they'd work on his Corvette for free. Teutul apparently didn't keep up his end of the bargain, and had to pay JTM $50 a day to store the car until this legal matter could be settled. Teutul apparently didn't understand the meaning of the word mediation. Two sides maturely and peacefully mediate their disagreements so as to come to an agreement without the costly, timely ordeal of a full court case. While both lawyers were verbally discussing the mediation, Paul was getting agitated, a source close to the case told Page 6. That's when Teutul, tired of the process, stood up and screamed at JTM to give him back his car along with a profane epithet and then, basically leaned over the table and lunged. While Teutul didn't make contact, a JTM attorney requested that he be restrained and 3 court officers came upstairs.
Security then removed Teutul from the immediate premises. Senior filed for bankruptcy in what could be considered odd timing or some bizarre guerrilla marketing. Just a day before the American Chopper reboot premiered in March 2018, Paul Teutul Sr. filed for bankruptcy. According to Chapter 13 legal paperwork obtained by Page 6, Teutul admitted to owing nearly 50 creditors a total of more than $1.07 million, against a net worth of around $1.8 million. Teutul also claimed a monthly income of $15,000 and expenditures of just over $12,600. While that technically means Teutul makes more money than he spends, he wouldn't have enough to pay off his crushing debts. Among his past due payments, according to the filing, a $32,000 judgment, $151,000 in taxes to the town of Crawford, New York, $21,000 in credit card debt, and $2,000 in medical bills. It seemed as if Teutul would receive some legal protections with bankruptcy status, but the story wasn't over. In April 2019, the trustee in charge of Teutul's case asked the court to dismiss the bankruptcy petition on the grounds that Teutul never supplied the right documentation. According to that filing, Teutul failed to provide the trustee with copy of a federal income tax return or transcript for 2017 and 2018 and more proof that his financial situation indicates a negative cash flow. Anybody want to buy a house? About 4 months before he filed for bankruptcy and the whole world suddenly knew about his daunting financial problems, Paul Teutul Sr. tried to get out in front of his cash flow issues by putting his enormous Montgomery, New York estate on the market. The October 2017 listing touted the 38-acre property's waterfalls, stocked pond, wooded areas, not to mention the many outbuildings designed to house farm animals. Which is to say nothing of the main house, a log and brick palace, or the pool, gazebo, hot tub, and volleyball court. Asking price: about $2.9 million, more than enough to get Teutul out of a few money jams. When no viable buyer emerged within 3 months, Teutul cut the price to $2.49 million. By early 2019, the retreat was available for just $1.65 million. The trustee in charge of his bankruptcy case said Teutul seemed assured that his home would sell and solve all his money woes, but it doesn't seem to have worked out that way, at least not yet. Vinny DiMartino switched from 2 wheels to 4. American Chopper fans came for the bikes but stayed for the fights. Paul Teutul Sr. and Paul Teutul Jr. frequently argued over just about everything. That makes for great, addictive reality television, but things still had to get done around the shop at Orange County Choppers. And so fabricator and mechanic Vinny DiMartino tried to keep his head down and get to work, always trying to remain dedicated to his craft. In 2007, he left OCC, and, subsequently, American Chopper, out of professional boredom and the need to grow. DiMartino founded his own shop, V-Force Customs. I had gone as far as I could there, DiMartino wrote on V-Force's now defunct website. I really didn't have any chance for advancement, and I had always wanted to have my own shop, so the natural progression was to leave and start my own place. He ran V-Force for 5 years, even working as an outside contractor for Paul Teutul Jr. In 2013, DiMartino abandoned bikes, for cars. He sold off all his bike stuff, bought some car shop stuff, and opened DiMartino Motorsports, a car and truck repair company in Walden, New York. Rick Petco builds bikes as well as knives. Rick Petco seemed like an even-keeled guy on American Chopper. He took a job as a builder and fabricator at Orange County Choppers not long after cameras rolled on the show's first season, and he happily built all kinds of interesting rides. Even when the Paul Teutul split up to run separate shops, and attempted to keep as many OCC employees on their sides, Petco stayed on with Sr. but stayed amiable with Jr. Everyone could agree on Rick. Both Paul Teutul's attended his wedding in 2012 to the former Brittany Cockrum. By the end of 2015, Petco was a dad to 2 young daughters. He was still working at OCC by then, but, tired of his 90-minute commute, each way, from his home in northeastern Pennsylvania to the shop in southern New York, he took a job as the chief fabricator at the Pocono Mountain Harley-Davidson complex in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, roughly a mile from his house. And when he's not working with metal, Petco works with metal. He runs a small knife forging company out of his home called RPD & Co. Mikey Teutul explored his creativity. Paul Teutul Sr. and Paul Teutul Jr. frequently and loudly disagreed throughout their years together on American Chopper. Fortunately, there was a third member of the Teutul family around to maintain a tenuous peace, Mikey Teutul, hired at first to do entry-level work around Orange County choppers, emptying the garbage, answering the phones, things of that nature. A funny and friendly guy, he did his best to keep things chill in the shop and in his bloodline. But a man can only take so much. He walked away from the Chopper franchise in 2012 so that he might, according to the Discovery Channel, seek some peace of mind and work on my relationship with my dad. He did come back to work, however, pitching in at both OCC and Paul Jr. Designs. Also a budding artist, Teutul used part of his time off to open an art gallery in Montgomery, New York, which featured his paintings. It closed in 2014, but Teutul pursued another artistic project, a web series. Launched in 2016, Bummin' Around aims to shine a light on New York City's homelessness problem. Cody Connolly left bikes for more power. Cody Connolly was but a boy when he got his foot in the door as a motorcycle-loving, 14-year-old intern at Orange County Choppers, before American Chopper came to pass. After finishing school, he put the skills he learned to work at the shop, fixing up and designing bikes until 2007. That's when Vinny DiMartino amicably left the business and chose to start his own company, V-Force Customs, and Connolly followed him. He kept doing what he'd been doing at OCC at V-Force for a few years before returning to the world of the Teutul's in the form of a job at Paul Teutul Jr.'s design shop. Today, he's out of the professional bike game altogether. He currently works for a utility company. In 2009, Connolly made tabloid headlines for taking legal action against some of his former employers. According to the suit via TMZ, Connolly claimed that he was paid for only around a third of the episodes in which he actually appeared, and nothing for public appearances that promoted OCC. He also alleged that the show used his image in American Chopper merchandise after he'd left the show in 2007. Even worse, Teutul Sr. never gave him a chopper he'd worked on that he'd been promised. Connolly sought $250,000 in damages. Paul Teutul Jr. has his own business. All those fights between Sr. and Jr. were apparently not staged for the benefit of reality TV cameras. Tensions ran so high at Orange County Choppers that in 2008, Paul Teutul Sr. fired Paul Jr. from the shop, even though he co-owned it. Jr. later told Fox News that his dad giving him the axe was a big favor, because it allowed him to get out from under my dad's controlling nature, and set him on the path to starting his own business. Paul Jr. Designs opened in 2010, after Teutul's one-year non-compete clause expired. Paul Sr. then tried to legally force Paul Jr. to sell him his 20% share of the company, a matter that had to be put on the back burner when father and son had to make amends. Getting rid of Jr. represented a breach of contract with the Discovery Channel, and it could have led to the show's cancellation. This all led the network to start an American Chopper spin-off continuation featuring both Teutul's businesses called American Chopper, Sr. vs. Jr. After that series concluded in 2012, Paul Jr. went back to Paul Jr. Designs, and in 2015 celebrated the birth of his first child, a son named Hudson. Here's how much Paul Teutul Jr. from American Chopper is worth now. There's a lot of money to be made in the fields of motorcycle design and reality television. Paul Teutul Jr. is successful in both fields, co-founding Orange County Chopper with his father in 1999, and then co-starring on American Chopper. In 2010, Teutul left the family business to strike out on his own, opening Paul Jr. Designs. However, he had to wait a year to build any bikes due to a one-year non-compete clause, so he got to work on other projects, including designing a dog park in Montgomery, New York, and performing a top-to-bottom overhaul of Coleman's Road Trip Grill, making the metal meat cooker look a lot like a sweet chopper in what the company's marketing manager said was the first time it had hired an outside celebrity designer. Between all of those irons in the fire, Teutul is worth a cool $2 million, according to Celebrity Net Worth. The Teutuls lost a court case no stranger to lawsuits. Paul Teutul Sr. was wrapped up yet another sticky legal matter in February 2020. The previous June, a professional photographer named Scott Gunnels filed a lawsuit against Orange County Choppers, broadcaster Discovery Inc., production company Pilgrim Media Group, Paul Teutul Sr., and his son, Mikey Teutul. He alleged that he owned the copyright on a photograph of the younger Teutul that had been used on 2 pieces of American Chopper merchandise without authorization or compensation. The merch in question, a $19.95 T-shirt and a $39.99 hooded sweatshirt, Gunnels also claimed that a different shot he took of Mikey Teutul was used to promote an art exhibition, and the Teutul's went so far as to remove his business's logo from the image. A Southern District of New York judge ruled in favor of Gunnels, ordering the Teutul's to pay the man $258,484.45 in damages. Paul Teutul Sr. established some side hustles with American Chopper winding down. Paul Teutul Sr. began looking for some new ways to generate income, especially methods that could benefit from his celebrity. Similar to how the world-famous gold and silver pawnshop in Las Vegas from Pawn Stars became a tourist attraction after being featured on TV for years, Teutul aims to make Orange County choppers a fan destination. In 2019, OCC announced plans to turn part of the 90,000-square-foot building in Newburgh, New York, into a family fun center, which will include an arcade, go-kart racing, laser tag, escape rooms, a virtual reality area, and other such diversions. Teutul is known almost as much for his impressive array of tattoos as he is for customizing bikes, and in 2019 he monetized that fact with the launch of a product called TatSeal. According to the press release, it's a topical application made from bioceuticals that claims to reduce the inflammation and pain that comes from getting a tattoo. There's an American Chopper special on the way. After more than 160 episodes, American Chopper motored off into the sunset. In 2018, after 6 years off the air, the show came racing back to the Discovery Channel for 2 abbreviated 7-season episodes in 2018 and 2019. That seemed like the end for the reality franchise, what with all of its cast members moving on to their own projects. What could possibly pull Paul Teutul, Sr. and Jr., back to American Chopper? Nostalgia. In late 2019, the father and son started filming material for a 2-hour reunion special, set to air sometime in the near future. Production took place at Teutul's original shop in Rock Tavern, New York, where the pilot of American Chopper was proposed. Walking into the old shop brought back a surge of emotions and memories, Teutul Sr. told the Times-Herald Record. The special is likely to air sometime in 2020.